Hi, everybody. I'm Susan Brock from BHS. I teach science, and I've got the best part of this lesson, the grading. Because as we all know, if the grading is horrible, we are not going to want to use this program. But the good news is the grading is awesome in GoFormative. They've really thought about it and put in some really nice features into the grading, okay? First of all, there's like 4 great features. First of all, it's quick, all right? Really, that's probably all I needed to say, right? Quick, that's all what we want, quick. But it's quick to grade. You can download, export the scores into your Google Classroom. Okay, not eSchool, but nothing's accessible to eSchool. So let's just get over that, right? Okay, but you can get it to your Google Classroom. Fourth all, for you visual learners out there, it's color coded. There's lots of color coding in this thing, and it makes it easier to grade. And the last part, it'll help you with your analysis for your PLC. You know, all those PLC things that they want you to analyze and talk about your PLC and how you can make better, how you need to improve and student improve. Okay, it does that for you. So let's see how we can get to that. All right, so Chris already went how to edit. So that's how you put in the questions, and hopefully he showed you how to put in the answers. All right, and I'm sure he already showed you how to assign it to your Google Classroom. And then what I'm going to go over is to review responses. That this is where you grade. Okay, now you can grade by answer because that's what we would do in a regular test, right? But there's really no need for that in GoFormative. Like I said, it's quick, right? So we're just going to go to totals over here. And this is actually a test I gave to my class when we were in pandemic at home. Okay, but I've hidden all the names so you can't see them, you know, privacy rights and all that. But I am going to show you a few features from here. All right, now we're in totals, so I can look at every classroom that I have. So I've got all the classes. No, I can look at one class, or I can look at all my classes. I only have one pulled up here now, but I can pull up all of them if I want to look at all of them at once for, you know, whatever reason. Okay, and it shows me individually what each student scored on each question, okay? So like I was saying, the analyze part for the PLC meetings, that's right up here. Right up here. So total percentage, what my kids got was 81%. So that's every kid in my classes, okay? That's all of their averages together, 81%. But if I wanted to look per problem, what my kids did, okay? Like their first question, 92%, knocked it out of the park, right? But look at this number 9 over here, 62%. Maybe that's one that my PLC and I need to go over. And maybe this 14. Maybe this is one we need to think about RTI for, right? All right, so that's the analyzing piece. Let's talk about the percentage. So if I wanted to know what each kid got, it can show me percentage, or I can click up here and it can show me by points. Now, if you're like me, you're probably putting points into eSchool, not percentages. And that's actually better here in GoFormative to use the points because the percentages can be wrong. Okay, let's look at this kid here. He decided that he did not want to answer 2 of the questions. That's why there's no color here, right? I said one of the great things about GoFormative was that it's color coded, right? So I have it set up. I've got 5 colors in. Now, you can change your color coding. That's for the higher level GoFormative that you can take later. But my color coding, I've got like 4 colors. I've got, I think maybe 5. Green, yellow, orange, blue, red. Okay. And each one of those is a decimal percentage. So like the green obviously is 100%. The red is 0, right? And then the colors in between. This kid does not have, he did not answer at all this question or this question. So instead of the 20 questions that everybody should have, he only has 18. And he got 14 points, 176 of those right. Well, Go Formative takes it out of 18, not out of the 20 that it should. Now there's a way to change that. You pull up the student and you force submission, but that's higher level. But anyway, so just know that the percentages could be a little off if a student doesn't answer a question. All right. So color coding. These are the percentage for students. Up here is the point total. All right, so let's look at how quick this is. So if you give a full multiple choice test, Go Formative's got you. It's done. But if you're like me, that's not your world, okay? If you're in English or math or social studies, you're not just giving a full multiple choice test, right? You're giving a short answer. There might be an essay. There might be something to draw. All right, and that has to be graded by you, okay? And that is going to be indicated by these gray marks. See how they're not just white, they're gray, right? That indicates a question that needs to be graded by you. The great thing is you can pull them up. Now, would it be quick to pull up a question I need to grade student by student? You can do that in Go Formative, but the quickest way to grade in Go Formative is to click on the question and it will show you every student's answer. Okay, this is the quick part of Go Formative. You can see every student's answer. Now, one of the things about an essay question, a fill in the blank, and these are essay questions or short answer plus a diagram, is that you might need to pull it up because you can't see what they've answered. This one's been formatted correctly where it has a short answer part and then it says show your work. You do that over where you create. By doing that, you can have them type in an answer and then draw. That really is the best way, because if you do not, and you may need to train your students to type, okay? If you don't, you may get something like this, where you have to pull it up and look individual by individual, because I can't read quickly from the screen what this student has written. But the great part and the quick part of Go Formative is that I can pull these up, I can see what they've answered, and if I see some students that are giving me the same answer, I think I have a better question over here. So if you see some questions that students seem to be getting the same type of answer, you can click on them. They're all kind of giving the same answer. So you can click on them, and instead of grading them individually, you can grade them all at once. Here, they're answering what's a medium. Well, a medium is matter that a wave travels through. It's not something or anything, it's matter. So, you know, they got part of the question, but not part of the question. So I am going to give them 50%. So this one right here that was red, I should have showed you before I answered it, before I changed it. It was red, but now I've graded it, and now the student will now get, instead of 0 points, a half a point. Okay, so this is the great thing about Go Formative, is that you can pull up any students and grade them all at once. And if they're all making this, not all of them would make the same mistake, but if they were making the same type of mistake, you can type in some feedback here. So I could put in some kind of feedback. I could type in what is anything? What is it that they're traveling through? And the student would get the feedback. So when they went back and looked at the test, they could see my feedback and know what they got wrong. So that's great too, because I can leave that feedback with multiple students all at once. I don't have to do them individually. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Makes your life easier, and that's what we need. All right. So when you go through here, and you can look at individual questions for all your classes, all of them. Okay, I can pull up an individual question and look what all my students did all at once. Okay, and again, they're color coded. Now, I have the names hidden because I didn't want you to see them, but normally the names would be right here. So you would know exactly which students answered what because their names would be on here. And like I said, the color coding makes it nice because the green means they got it all right and the red ones are the ones they got wrong. Color coding, making your life easy. Okay, now, one last thing I'm going to talk about is how GoFormative is limited when it's graded. It is limited, and it didn't go to, oh, yes, okay. It is limited by the computer that it's programmed by, okay? It is just a computer. So when you have questions that students have to type in, yes, you will put in all the answers that you think they could put in. And you would be surprised at how that differs, okay? Let's look at this last question. This last question, it's a numeric answer, so it was a calculation, okay? The answer is a half. It's a half a hertz. All right, so I'm going to have to put in my answer key all the way that half a hertz could be put in. All right, 0.5, half, 0.5 hertz, okay? Now, let's look at how the computer can still, even though I have tried to put in every single variation of half a hertz, how it can still count it wrong. If I look at this, yep, right there, look, this says half a hertz. Wait, that was the answer, right? But it's counting it wrong. Well, one of the things that you cannot predict is where your students are going to put spaces. There might be a space here. There might be a space between a half and a hertz. There might be a space after hertz. You never know how that's going to happen. Okay? I have had questions that had 20 answers and still a right answer might get by it. This is one of the downfalls, but it's not so bad. Now, see this half a hertz? It's the right answer, and I am going to give this student full credit. Now, once I give that student full credit, this is the beauty thing about GoFormative. It realizes that it does not have a right answer in its answer key. So once I give it full credit, when it says it doesn't think it is, it asks me if I want to put this answer in my answer key. And yes, I do. Because invariably there's going to be another student who's going to do the same thing. instead of me having to go and grade that, it's now going to count it right. So like I said, it's really thoughtful and it's a really great program and I really enjoy it. And if you just give it a little bit of thought and you work with a little bit, it's going to make your life better.